Yeah.
Welcome to the Wise Take DFS Podcast. I'm your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined once again by my good friend, Patio Joe. You can find him on Twitter at Patio Joe Ref. That's REF. Patio Joe writes the straight cash homie articles for us, and you can catch him on most of our premium live streams at 5:30 Eastern. That's 2:30 West Coast time. Brother Joe, how we doing, man?
Doing well. It's a beautiful night here on the West Coast, and there's one game left. The Dodgers just went ahead. Pretty good night on DFS. Cash game looks like it's going to cash pretty easily. And I have this one tournament that preaching, smaller tournaments. I'm only cashing because I'm only in a 23-man tournament, and it's $25, and hopefully I get double my money and nobody catches me, because right now I'm the last guy on the pay line, and I still got Alex Wood, so hopefully he gets the win. So, yeah, a little bit of a sweat, even though it's just a small tournament. But
yeah, man,
I'll tell you what, for me, dude, I'm cool.
Oh, yeah, man.
You know, if he gets the win, the cool thing, if he gets the win, that gives me 6 points. I'll go into second and get $125.
Oh,
that's how close I am. So we need the Dodgers to get this win. Like, it's now. I mean, to me, this is like I got the Millie Maker right now. I don't care what anybody says.
This is everything
to
right
us.
Here.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You know,
it don't even matter that you're winning your cash games. It don't even matter.
Yes.
It don't even matter.
Yes, get me that win now, Dodgers. You've won all these now. You got to win this one.
Oh man. Did you watch any football tonight, dude?
I watched a little bit. I watched the beginning of the Houston-Carolina game, and Kelvin Benjamin caught a touchdown pass, and like everybody, like literally Twitter's like, "Oh my God, how high is his ADP is going to rise after catching a touchdown pass in a preseason game, in the first preseason game when your starting quarterback didn't even throw you the pass? Yeah, that's really going to help you." Like literally, like, oh God. There's nothing more that I hate than is like people that overreact over preseason games. Like, it's just so like, whenever I go to a preseason game, I'm literally there for like the first quarter, and then I'm like, peace out, bye. And I love football. I'm like yearning for football, but like, isn't it true? Like you watch preseason, like literally the first series, and you're like, okay, I'm good.
Oh,
that's
man.
like now it's just like,
dude,
so boring after that.
I don't even watch that, man, because most of the time the best players, the guys you want to see, don't play at all. Like, you know, like you just don't see it. So I don't watch preseason at all, man. And I
just don't want to get hurt.
No, and I get it. I don't want them to get hurt either. It'd mess up my whole game plan, and I'm not trying to like rewrite anything for the, you know what I mean, with the season coming up. It's been hard enough already to adjust with baseball right here. But yeah, no, I'm totally with you, man. And it's funny too, because like people act as if like they don't. A lot of times in the preseason, you're not necessarily like, you don't even know what string defense you're playing. Like a lot of times coaches use that as an opportunity to practice different schemes that their guys don't know, and just let me see how this would work. And then some coaches are gamesman kind of people, and they don't want to show their strategies, so they'll just put together some bullshit just to throw out there on the cameras. Like it's that real, man. It's the NFL. These coaches are crazy.
They're not. They're not blitzing. Yeah. They're nothing. You know.
They don't want. They don't want them to see shit. You know.
The second and third preseason game is a little bit more serious, but like I don't know. I'm thinking about like I have tickets for the Charger game on Sunday, but I'm trying to sell them because it's just not worth driving all that way for the preseason game.
How far are you from San Diego? I'm just curious.
Well, they don't play in San Diego, but actually from San Diego was. Like, from where I live now, probably about 2 hours. But when I lived in Burbank or Playa del Rey, it was probably about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
So it wasn't that far. Like, it's with no traffic, it's fine. But when there's traffic... Ugh.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I know that you are a Chargers fan, so I figured that at some point you must have been driving there to see the games. So
like, I had season tickets for 5 years back in like the 2000s when they went like 14-2 and LT broke the record. So I went to every game. Like I went to the couple playoff games. I went to so many. Yeah, I have a lot of memories when I had season tickets. It was cool. It was back in the day when the real estate market was booming. I was making so much money, so I would buy like 4 season tickets, and I would write it off as saying I took different clients each week.
Yeah.
Just wrote it off, like, and they didn't know, like, so I wrote it off, and I liked it, man. It was fun. It was a fun time, and then it just got to be. I was starting to officiate more though.
Right.
So I started getting more college officiating, and I was officiating Saturdays, and people don't realize, like, when you're officiating college football, like Division III or junior college, you got to be there 3 hours before the game, and it's usually an hour ride wherever you're going. So you got 4 hours there. The game takes 3 hours. Then you got another hour in the locker room, and you usually go out after. It's usually about a 10 or 12-hour day towards the end, and you get paid like $130 for the whole game. So, those guys, they do a lot of work.
Yeah, man.
So, like, bottom line is I would come home on a Saturday night and be like, oh, my God, I got to get up in like 6 hours and go tailgate for 12 hours. I couldn't do it 8 weeks out of the year. After a while, I was like, I can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it also coincided with the Chargers getting bad, too. I won't lie.
Well, no, they just happened to be getting bad at the same time that the tickets, it's just,
just that weren't that important.
Priorities, man.
Yeah, priorities. So, it was nice. So then I just started to, like, I picked like 1 or 2 games a year to go do.
Yeah.
And now the only reason why I got season tickets this year is I basically thought of, kind of like the theory of, selling something illegal, that you buy some and then you sell it for more so you don't have to pay as much.
Yeah.
So that kind of theory. So I got season tickets for the Chargers thinking, well, I'll buy these tickets and go to about 4 games and then sell the other ones for more so I don't have to pay for as much as,
discount on the games.
That's how I basically I was, that was my 20s basically.
Yeah, straight cash.
What I'm trying to say. Straight cash. Straight cash. No, actually, no cash, but I didn't have to pay. It was just straight even.
Straight even, homie. That's right. He's moving up in the world. That's why it's straight cash, homie. Now, back then it was straight even, homie.
I was just even. I was just breaking even.
Yeah, man. I don't go to many. I live an hour from MetLife Stadium. It's really not bad. And like in New Jersey,
that's crazy. You think Jersey's like you cross the street and you're at MetLife Stadium. See, like I'm telling you, the perception on the East Coast is literally one street you're like in Pennsylvania, the next street you're in Jersey, the next street you're in Maryland, the next street you're in West Virginia.
That is kind of legit for Jersey because in New Jersey there's 2 main highways, right? There's the Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike. And both of these roads run from the south to the north all the way through. So you literally, when you come into Jersey from like Delaware, right, which is the southern part, you can ride the turnpike all the way up to literally New York, like just staying on that one highway. So it kind of is true, like that one highway with this kind of. And Jersey's gonna hit you on the way in and on the way out with the toll, but
Yeah, those toll roads. Yeah, it's too, and it's the one thing. It's in the turnpike in DC, the Washington Turnpike, like it's literally like a circle. Like they try and explain it to me, and like I know freeways too. I'm my own praiser, and I drive in LA, and everybody hates LA. Like it is the most confusing thing I've ever drove in. Like literally, there's been times I'm like, I really don't know what state I'm in right now. Am I in Maryland? Am I in Pennsylvania? Am I in Delaware? I could be in West Virginia. I could be in Virginia for all I know. Hell, I could be in Rhode Island. I don't know. Like you're just driving, like, oh yeah, no, we're in this state. Oh really? When did we get there? I don't know. And it's like in California, you can drive in California for like 10 hours and you're still in California.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of it's just totally different for us.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Out here. Definitely. But I love visiting the East Coast. I'm gonna be visiting East Coast. We've talked about that. I'm visiting East Coast in about 2 months.
I was just telling you, man. My whole family, my brother, my mother, my father, my sister, everybody, they moved into San Diego, and so I'll be visiting.
You better have a lot of money.
What's that?
You better have a lot of money.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. They were telling me about the cost. My mom has to do it for her job. She works it's a government job. So she's going over there. So, like, they were telling me some of the rent. Oh, my God.
Are they going to be living, like, actually in San Diego or, like Carlsbad or, like, by the base or, like, the Marine base? Is that...
They went out there to check it out. So, I guess they're deciding all that kind of stuff now. I don't really know. But yeah, man, so you might catch me on the West Coast soon, bro. Chilling, man.
That'd be nice.
Come visit. Come swing by, visit my family, visit Patio Joe. Could be nice, man.
That's right.
Could have some good times. But anyway, man, we got 10 games. It's getting late. Let's get into it, bro.
Let's do it.
All right. Jacob deGrom of my New York Mets visiting Vincent Velasquez of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Let's start off with this is our cash game guy tomorrow. It's, at least from first look, I don't see why you wouldn't really want to go after deGrom tomorrow. I'm looking at everybody else on the slate. He's pitching, Phillies team that he's faced a lot. He does well against them. Don't see anything wrong against him. I also think that you can stack the Mets tomorrow against Velasquez. I think you can go with Conforto. Obviously, Paulie will be like, hey, yo, Saspi. And, maybe Granderson. They don't have Bruce anymore. He just got traded. You heard that, right?
Yes, got traded.
To the Indians.
Yeah.
So, basically, though, I'm all about deGrom tomorrow in cash. It just seems like it all just lines up to me. And his last outing against Philly was 64 points, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So I can take that. I'll take that tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. I think the floor here is what you want to see. He might not be the best point per dollar play on a tournament. We don't know yet, but in cash games, I think you're right, Joe. I don't think you think about it on both sides. FanDuel, you don't think about it. DraftKings, you don't think about it. He's your SP1 in cash games. You move on. It's the Phillies. I know they've been playing better, but it's still the Phillies. And deGrom is deGrom. And let me ask you about that Jay Bruce trade. I'm curious because, when as a Met fan, when Jay Bruce came to the Mets last year, I was just like, listen, and I like Jay Bruce. I played him a ton on the Reds. I love him. But from a Met fan's perspective, I was like, okay, so our issue is we can't hit lefties. So what do? We go get another big bat lefty. And we have all these guys that we already had Conforto. Granderson was having a good year. We have Cespedes who hits righties better than he hits lefties. We have all these switch hitters. Neil Walker can't hit from the left side. He can't hit lefties. He can only hit righties. It's Struble. So it's to me, it was just we need a big righty bat that smashes lefties. Because other than Flores, which by the way came through, Wilmer Flores for you. We called that last night on the pod, me and Gady. We said Patio Joe always says death taxes and Wilmer Flores against lefties.
Wilmer Flores against the lefty.
Boom.
Okay, he hit a home run tonight?
He did a home run earlier. This is the day game.
5-1. It was the only.
It was the only run.
The only score.
It was the only Mets run. It was Wilmer Flores. Boom, patio special. That's a patio special right there. But yeah, man. So, the Indians to me they are doing fine against right-handed pitching. To me, their issue. I understand that Brantley's out on the DL again with his ankle, but even without Brantley,
how do we go to the Indians?
We're talking about Bruce. We're just talking about Bruce.
Oh, okay.
So my question is, do you think, do you agree with did they needed Bruce? Because to me, they needed a guy that hit help with lefties. You know what I mean?
I was saying last year, I think the Mets just made a move to make a move, so to speak.
Just so the fan base didn't
this
erupt.
year, I kind of now that you think about it, now that you're making me think about why did they make that move? Literally, if you look at their team, what's wrong with Zimmer and Jackson? I don't know what they were doing wrong.
Yeah, and so I
maybe DHing, I don't, but then you're gonna have to move Encarnacion or Santana to first base. So. Right. I don't know. They just want more. They feel more is better.
Even when they didn't have Brantley, okay, but these other guys were picking up the pace. You still got, like you said, Lindor, Zimmer. They still got some guys that can hit.
Okay. So what you have to understand is the Mets put him on revocable waivers.
Right.
So all the Indians did was put a claim on him, and then it was up to them to make a trade within 24 hours or pull back Bruce.
Right.
So they made a trade with them. And, maybe it was okay, well, we'll pay that trade. It's not that big of a, they wanted to get it. So they'll basically, well, what will you give us for Bruce?
Yeah.
So they almost paid the Indians price because you saw what the Indians give. They didn't give anybody good.
Yeah.
I didn't know who it was nobody. So if you think about it that way, a lot of guys are put on waivers and you don't even know it.
So for Bruce,
it's whether or not a team will make a claim.
For
Bruce. It's almost I feel like it's another left-handed power bat that you could use. The thing is that they're trying to prepare for the postseason.
Yeah.
So who are you facing in the postseason? You're either facing probably the Yankees or the Astros. All the Astros have is Keuchel.
Right.
And they have all right-handed pitchers after that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
All the Yankees have is Sabathia, who's crap, and they have right-handed pitchers.
And they got Montgomery, but
Montgomery
even so,
sent down.
it's just
Montgomery sent down.
Yeah, even so, that's it.
So then they're just trying. Okay, so essentially, the only time that he's really going to be like put moot is if they were to make the World Series and face the Dodgers, who have got all these lefties that they're going to throw against them.
Right.
But getting there could help them get there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you think about it, I mean, I'm just.
No, it makes sense.
Because who are you facing? All these teams now are getting their teams ready for the postseason.
Right. No, it makes sense. I wonder how that affects the Mets tomorrow against Vince Velasquez, because he's a guy that like we've been targeting him this year. We haven't been afraid to go after the guy. I know. I think you and Paulie liked him when he was liked the Rockies when they were against him in Coors, and I'm pretty sure they beat his face in that day. So it's like
here's another thing though. When are we going to start really attacking the Mets now? Yeah. Because they just left Duda and now Bruce off their team in a week.
That's interesting. You're right. And not just that.
You really have Conforto and Cespedes.
Because you know what? The Mets are second in the league right now in strikeouts over the last 7 days. 29.2%. It's interesting you say that. And that was just without Duda. They dramatically became a strikeout-heavy team just from losing Duda. And now it's like they got rid of Bruce, another guy that doesn't strike out that often. That's an interesting point, Joe.
Yeah. I think the Mets might be a team that we're going to have to start attacking more.
Grandy's going to be playing
all you have
again.
to really worry about.
They're going to be playing Grandy every day again.
About, Bruce. I mean, you're going to have to worry about Granderson, Cespedes, and Conforto. And really, I mean, that's.
So then is Vince Velasquez in play to you?
I still think there's other ways to go to play where you don't need to go and play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. But it's something to take note of going forward for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely is. I still like Conforto at least. It's Conforto and Cespedes. I think those two guys are the only guys. You know, I will say one thing on DraftKings. Like, this guy's been terrible, but on a slate with like premier pitching on DraftKings, right? Like Grom's the first pitcher we talked about, but like we have a couple other we talked about in those high tier. DraftKings, it's gonna be hard not to pay up for two guys on DraftKings. Neil Walker on DraftKings is 2-7, and most likely gonna be batting 4 or 5, 4th or 5th. So on DraftKings, I think in cash games, that's probably going, unless I find somebody better at second base that's cheaper, because I checked, and I think the Nationals guys are a little bit more expensive today. I was already on it. So I just wanted to point him out. He's terrible, but at 2-7 on DraftKings on a slate where you may have to pay up for two pitchers in cash games, I think Walker's worth mentioning. Anyway, Dan Straley of the Miami Marlins visiting Tanner Roark of the Washington Nationals.
Okay, this is a good stack option. At least I like the Nats here. You can attack Straley, lefties and righties. Go get him. I mean, Murphy sat today, right?
Yeah, I think he might be hurt, or I think he's hurt or something.
Okay. Harper, Zimmerman. Man, I can't get that guy right. Some days I just can't get him right.
Dude,
he was so good today.
Yeah, he was. Monster today.
And Rendon, I like them all, but like I say, I have a hard time getting the Nats right just in general.
Yeah.
They're one of those teams that's just weird. And then on the other side, Tanner Roark has been sneaky, like average, good the last couple starts. So it's somebody maybe I don't want to do like a full stack against him tomorrow, but you could still play roll up. Yelich, roll up, Stan tomorrow. I like those two.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like a full stack, but I definitely like those two.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think for me, it's like, I mean, and it's not a hot take by any means, but to me, it's like pick maybe two guys from the top 5 of the order. Because any one of these guys, like Ozuna and Stanton could be a nice pair. Yelich and Gordon is an interesting pair. I swear there was one game recently where like all the lefties hit home runs, or all the lefties had great games. It was like 4 lefties in the lineup, and it was just the lefties who went off. It was Gordon, Yelich, and then like Dietrich and some other lefty, and then that was it. It was like those guys went off. So like I'm with you. Like I don't think I would want 4 or 5 of these guys together, because I don't. Rourke is one of those guys. He could limit the damage. He's done a good job of limiting damage. But yeah, 1 or 2 guys to get exposure, hoping they do well against Rourke, and then maybe get a chance at the bullpen. Yeah, I think that's a great call. Straley, man, is he falling off? What do you think with Straley? He was doing well. Seems like he's kind of
he fell off because I think couple weeks ago, he was on the trade. He was going to be traded,
Right.
so people were kind of like, "Ooh, maybe we should." He was going to pitch good, but then kind of went good. It kind of went downhill.
Yeah,
so
he might be-
sorry, I was a little excited there. They just got out of the 8th inning, still 3-2, and they're rolling into Jansen in the 9th. Oh!
Nice. The sweat is real, ladies and gentlemen.
The sweat is real for small level players. I don't care. I am one of you guys out there. You're looking at it right now. It's a sweat. Okay, like maybe one day we'll be doing this podcast and we're like sitting here and Paul's like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna win the $1 million tonight in football. You better score a touchdown. You better get that touchdown." Like, hey, yo, like, but right now, like, we're into this sweat to get second place.
Oh my God, I'm with it. Oh man. Oh God. All right. Sonny Gray of the New York Yankees visiting Marco Estrada of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, Gray came in his first start as a Yankee and pretty much did, I'd say, what we expected. The funny thing is that he just pitched against this same Toronto team on the 25th of July in Toronto. He pitched 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, and he had 49 points. So if he does that tomorrow, I'm good. I'll be good with that. I just don't know. I mean, it's like the second time in 2 weeks he's facing a team. I think he's good for the win and for a quality start. So what became as a first look I might look at him a little bit more tomorrow. I think he might be an option. On the other side, Marco Estrada loves to give up fly balls, and Aaron Judge and Gary the GOAT and every other Yankee loves to hit fly balls. So I say the Yankees are in play tomorrow to stack. And I know it sounds like, oh, they like to hit fly balls, whatever. Estrada is just can just blow up so easily, and you want to be on that Yankee team when it happens. So he has decent BVP against these Yankees, believe it or not. So pick and choose, but I definitely like Judge and Sanchez the most.
Man, I hope people look at that BVP and get scared off, because Estrada, something's wrong with that dude. And when I say something's wrong, I don't necessarily mean he's injured, but something is off in his mechanics. He's not the same Estrada that we saw last year. He's lost it. There's something wrong with him. You could see it. He's not striking. He's not getting any swinging strikes. He's not striking anybody out. And he's a guy that heavily relies on his changeup. So maybe if we dug in, I'm sure we've looked at it millions of times, and it's slate by slate. Once the slate's over, we move on to the next. And it's you do the same research almost every day a lot of the time. Some of the stats you don't remember. So I'd like to check and see. We can look into his velocity, whatever it is. Something is wrong. It's not working. His whole style that's his whole deal. He gets you out on the changeup. He throws a ton of changeups, and it's just not working for him. I'm with you, man. I'm all over the Yankees here. Sonny Gray, in tournaments, I think Sonny Gray, I understand, just because he's done well before, and he's obviously good. He wants to show New York that he wants to be here, and they're contending to, they're only 4 games back from the Red Sox, so they're contending, so it makes a lot of sense. And the problem is last time they faced Toronto was still cold as hell. That was like you said a couple weeks ago. They've actually been starting to, and we've been talking about it, but they've been starting to pick it up a little bit. Donaldson seems to be waking up. Batista hit a bomb today, a big deal. He's got batting 200. But Donaldson waking up is a big thing. Smoke is starting to come around. Even Morales and Martin are coming around a little bit. So it's Sonny Gray scares me a little bit, but in tournaments, just because of the fact that that's kind of what Gray does is limit damage. I can see it. On DraftKings at 10-9, I think that's just ridiculous. What is he on FanDuel?
He's 8-9. He's way more affordable.
Yeah, on FanDuel in tournaments, sure, man. If he frees up to the bats, I can see the merit. But on DraftKings, Toronto does not strike out enough. He is not going to pay off that 10-9 comfortably. And there's just better options. If you're paying 10-9, you might as well go up and get DeGrom or Paxton or somebody else on DraftKings. They're already in the double digits, right?
Agreed.
Here's another good one. Danny Salazar of the Cleveland Indians visiting Blake Snell of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go GPP. Salazar is my GPP pitcher tomorrow. The guy's been on fire since he's come back. I think you can also play him in cash. I don't know why. We say just play DeGrom. I don't know how much, Salazar's pitched pretty damn good. He's facing a team that strikes out a ton. So just because of pedigree, you go for DeGrom. You know what I'm saying? Just because of Salazar has the last few years has blown up more. The fact that he has been hurt. I think that's where that's where I like him more for a GPP over DeGrom. But for cash, I got to go still with DeGrom. But if you want to play Salazar tomorrow in cash, I would not fault you at all if you found some good bats too. So he's in a great spot. That's the way I look at it. And Snell, he can always stifle somebody. So pick your righty bats good. I think E5 is a good play tomorrow. Santana, Lindor, the righty bats. Maybe Geyer, obviously, Wise Take favorite Geyer. And yeah.
more like a Patio Joe CK favorite. Paulie was dogging me that day, bro. He was like, I picked him on the Dong Watch, and he was like, "What?" He was like, we're looking for home runs. You know that, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, you just said Geyer. I was like, and then literally the next day on the live stream, Patio Joe was like, Geyer. Patio Joe was like, I picked Geyer. And Paulie was like in shock. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, but he did it a home run recently, Geyer.
Yep.
He didn't hit a home run that day, though. I did not.
No.
No. But yeah, man, I think. Listen, man, I'm with you. Salazar. It's like here's my question to you, Joe. We had Sale and Kluber the other day, and on DraftKings, in cash games, you had to there was just so much value that you had to go those. You had to play them both. And in cash on DraftKings, yeah, you had to. The cashing line on DraftKings and some of the 50-50s, it was like 183. It was because all the cheap chalk guys went off. So you had, the only difference is the pitchers. Did you have 40 or did you have the full 80? Because they both went off or whatever it was. Anyway, so would you play DeGrom and Salazar together?
Yeah, I think yes. But it's in the case where you have to see the lineups that come out and see what value has opened up, because some days there's value that opens up. For instance, Kivlahan today. Once I saw he was batting second, it was like an auto play for me. Like it was so easy. Like, and I'm sure on DK, we could go to his lineup. His price tomorrow. He plays in the morning slate, but I'm sure his price isn't that expensive. I bet you he was under 3 easily.
On DraftKings? On DraftKings, he was cheap.
You know what I mean? So DraftKings, you gotta look for, you gotta wait for the lineups to come out. Guys like Kivlahan, Aducci, you gotta have at least one of those on. You gotta really follow, like the kind of like the basis that I tell people, that I tell our premium members about catcher and second base. If you can find value there. Or shortstop and stuff like that. Like, you got to find where you can pay down at and pay down way more, because it's the way to go for cash.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm with you. It's a great point.
And you better hit on the one or two bats that you can't afford. Yeah. That's the thing. You have to hit on it.
Yeah, definitely. So it's like it's one of those things. It's slate dependent. Is the value there? If the value is there and you can manage to come up with a decent cash lineup, then sure. If the value is not there, then you're gonna need a little. Then you better hit the guys that you're picking. Good point. Yeah, man, Blake Snell is interesting because Cleveland has been striking out a little bit more, and like they've already struggled against lefties all year. And like again, they got Jay Bruce. I just don't see how that's going to help them. But he's been really wild, man. He's a tough guy to stomach to roster, and he was supposed to be one of the better prospects. So it's like he has it in him. He's got K upside. He just walks so many guys. You can't help but to look and like guys like Austin Jackson. He's one guy that has been mashing lefties this year. That dude's been playing out of his mind. So I wanted to mention him and Geyer, like you said, why Patio Joe CK favorite Geyer.
Hooty hoo.
Let's see if he bats higher in the order though. I'd like to see that. It's funny. Jay Bruce, Lucas Duda reunion already.
I know already,
man.
Jeez.
Jason Hamill of the Kansas City Royals visiting Lance Lynn of the St. Louis Cardinals. Dude, I think these are literally the pitchers that I dislike the most in baseball. Like,
you know what's funny is I was just gonna say, like, this entire series has been like the forgotten series, and I think like if you would have gotten there, like each day, you would have done well because they've all scored points. But we're like, no, because everybody I think just gets so scared of that damn stadium. Like, oh, you can't score runs there, it can't work, it's this, that, whatever. Cardinals aren't what they used to be. The Royals aren't, you don't know when it's that, this and that, and it's just like. But yeah, every day they've scored like 8, 10. They've probably gone the over in Vegas. So it's weird. And again, tomorrow, I don't care about this game. Like, I just don't, because Hamill and Lynn could both go out there and shove it up your ass and just make you have a crappy night. And then they could also go out there and get lit. So, like, what are you going to do? Like, cross it off, move to the next game. That's all I can say.
Oh man, it's so sad, but it's so true. I did not. I just can't roster Lance Lynn. I'll admit his price on DraftKings at 7.8 is interesting, but the Royals are back to their whole not striking out deal, and I don't want to mess with them. There's been runs galore with these guys, man. Like the Cardinals and Royals have been shitty all year, and for some reason, all of a sudden now they're playing each other, and they just can't stop scoring runs. I'm with you though, man. The game is just like, don't get me wrong. Like I like some of these players. I like Moustakas, like in general. I like DeJong in general. Carpenter and Pham. I like these guys.
They're probably really nice people.
Yeah, they're probably upstanding citizens, and they probably pay their taxes and everything.
Yes.
But yeah, whenever for some reason, like you said, I just don't want anything to do with this game, man.
Yeah, I don't care.
I just don't, and like nobody else will. So like,
yeah, that's the thing. We're the same. Everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah, we all just agree not to touch this game.
Yeah,
and
there's somebody will win you a tournament. Stack this game.
Yeah, exactly. We just told everybody not to play it, so go ahead. Brad Peacock of the Houston Astros visiting Carlos Rodon of the Chicago White Sox.
If you would have asked me like a week ago, hey, would you want to throw Brad Peacock on a Thursday on this slate against a team like the White Sox? I'd been like, hell yeah, give me more cock. But like the last 2 days, like the White Sox have all of a sudden like morphed into like this super team, and just like they like get like this superhuman strength, and they're like crushing. They crushed Keuchel yesterday. McHugh, who I thought was the biggest trap today. I wrote about him just because like I saw what everybody was seeing, but I didn't. I just like I felt like Gio was way more.
Oh yeah, dude. I played McHugh on both FanDuel and DraftKings today, and here's the funny part. I played Gio with McHugh on DraftKings, but on FanDuel I played McHugh, and I am still cashing. It's like that's how bad, dude. That's how bad. Like the chalk did not hit. I told you that's how popular Milwaukee and Houston were tonight. They were so popular that in cash games, as long as you had the Gary the Goat, which I had, and you said, I got to give you props. You said today, play Gary the Goat. If you don't play him, he will hit a home run, and you're going to be upset. Literally.
What's funny is I said I never play him in cash, and I did today too.
Well, you told everybody on the show to do it.
Yeah. Remember, and the cash line right now on the cash games that I have are like, some of them are 70 points. 70.
Yeah. I have an 87 on FanDuel right now, and I'm winning comfortably. I'm comfortably winning. Like I have. Yeah,
I have 120 points, and I'm in like the top 15.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird sometimes how it doesn't matter. Some nights you could score 150 points and win 20 grand. It don't matter.
Dude, it's so telling of like the chalk hitting. Like tonight, you obviously everybody just went to Houston and Milwaukee on both sides because you know what? I have an 81 with McHugh on DraftKings. McHugh got me like 0 point something, and I got an 81.75, and I'm in double ups and large double ups. I am cashing right now.
The irony for me is that I only made one lineup, and I stayed away from that Houston and
Milwaukee.
I stayed away from the Houston and Milwaukee game. I went with the Tampa Red Sox game, which wasn't great, but for some reason it was enough. And then I had Didi and Gary the Goat.
Yeah.
And it was enough.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I played that guy Sanchez on DraftKings. He was I played him on both sites, but him, Gary the Goat, and Brad Miller, who again. On the show today, you were splitting hairs. Me and you were splitting hairs about Miller and Solarte, and you had them both down. Like you liked them both, and you said play them both. We're splitting hairs, and they both went nuts. So it's a good day, man. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. Those guys, because everybody else that got zeros for me were fairly chalky. Like Freeman was 70% owned on DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do anything, but it's okay because he was 70% owned. So 70% of the field got a 3 or 4 there, or whatever, you know. But yeah, going back anyway, we were talking about the White Sox, weren't we?
Yeah,
man. Brad Peacock is 9.5 on DraftKings. So like if I'm like that's gonna be that's tough. Like that's tempting to me. I know the White Sox have been better, and on FanDuel I don't like. In FanDuel you gotta worry about it, right? You don't even gotta maybe in tournaments if you want to get funky, but like in DraftKings cash games, like you're still looking for that second guy. He's significantly cheaper than Salazar. You know, so now it's a decision. And I think Peacock is a lot better than McHugh. And I think, Peacock had Toronto last time, and he was doing well. They don't strike out a ton. Toronto doesn't. They don't strike out a ton, Problem with Peacock is he has a tendency to have a high pitch count if he's not getting the strikeout. So it's like, he seems like obviously a better GPP play, what we're saying. But my question is, like I'm so tempted to just want to play him in cash. And, it's probably because I haven't learned my lesson against the White Sox, because even though I'm playing pitchers against them, I'm still cashing because this is how the field's been. So it's like if the pattern is going to keep up, I don't mind. Like 9.5 is better than 11. It's just, is it enough of a discount? You just go get Salazar, right?
Yeah, I don't think people are going to go after the Astros as much tomorrow because Rodon is a little bit better.
Yeah, he's actually decent.
He's been pitching better his last few starts. I mean, if you look, his last 3 starts, 33, 48, 54. At the Cubs versus Cleveland, at Boston.
Yep.
When Boston was hot. So, I mean, he might be a mad, low owned GPP option.
But yeah, that's my point, and that's why I'm even considering him as an SP2 in cash, instead, just to get the discount because
Rodon.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
I'm talking about Rodon.
Rodon. Oh yeah. Well, but
I'm talking about Rodon.
Playing him against
that guy. Did you see? I'm just saying. Did you see his last 3 games against Chicago, Cleveland, and Boston?
Yeah.
33, 48, and 54.
He's a good pitcher. He is a good pitcher.
The guy was a prospect, got hurt, and he's coming back, and he's supposed to be one of the best pitchers that when they drafted him. He was supposed to be one of the.
Oh yeah.
So all I'm trying to say is that we might want to hold off. I don't think the Astros are going to be as chalky tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't think you want a full stack tomorrow. You're going to have guys Springer's back, but they scored 1 run today or 3 runs today. Guess who was sitting below the lineup? Oh, Bregman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a bummer.
Right there.
That was a bummer, man. That ruined a pretty good streak.
Serious.
Things were going good too. This is okay. So Dietrich ends. Lefty of the Minnesota Twins visiting Zach Davies of the Milwaukee Brewers. But this game might rain, actually. I'm seeing some rain in the forecast.
Oh, okay. I had... you're doing the Twins and the Brewers?
Yeah.
Okay, I have Kyle Gibson, and so does FanDuel.
Yeah, Kyle Gibson was the guy that I saw everywhere, but I'm seeing somewhere else. Let me check MLB.
FanDuel has Kyle Gibson, so...
Yeah. I'll tell you what, why don't you start off talking to me about Zach Davies, and I'm going to try to get confirmation right quick, and if we don't, let's talk about Gibson.
Yeah, Zach Davies has been a sneaky good pitcher this year, and people don't really notice, and because he's on the Brewers, and the Brewers normally don't have really good pitchers, but, he's 7-8 tomorrow. He's going to go overlooked, and he 37, 34, 54, 37, he can get you 40 points tomorrow. That's not bad, He's The Twins can, they can be beat. They can strike out a lot. On the other side, if it's Kyle Gibson, I ain't attacking these Brewers. Kyle Gibson, I don't care. He's terrible. You go Brewers side on this one. Kyle Gibson, I think, might be even worse than Bartolo. So if that's the case, I like the Brewers tomorrow, and I might like Davies a little bit.
Yeah, man. I hate Davies, but he's been pretty good. He's been damn near unhittable, man. I don't know. Like, it could be a thing because, like, I think he played the Nationals and did really well. But at the time he played the Nationals, they were kind of struggling altogether. And, like, I feel like that's kind of been his luck. He's been catching these good teams when they've been kind of slumping. So we don't actually know. Is he good? Or, like, is he doing good? Or is it just the teams are just sucking right now? Because we've seen this guy get rocked. For last year, he was Nelson, right? Like, last year, he was the guy that was, like, doing well. And, like, so we thought it was a thing. And then this year, Nelson came out doing his thing. And then Davies just kind of got rocked, like, every day. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I'm seeing, I just found from the Star Tribune, left-hander Dietrich Enns, one of the two pitchers traded to the Twins in exchange for left-hander Jaime Garcia on July 30th, will be called up Thursday and will start against the Brewers.
All right. So he's a lefty. I don't really know much about him.
He's a lefty.
So good righty.
He was traded for Jaime. We know some stuff here.
He's a lefty. His name is Dietrich, and he seems like he's German. Dietrich Enns.
Actually, I think you're right. I think he is German. I think I just saw Frankfurt. Yeah, his old high school, Lincoln Way Central in Frankfurt. Oh, Illinois. I lived in Germany. Frankfurt's a big city in Germany. So
I know Frankfurt, Germany. I know.
Assume that
I took geography, CK. I know where Frankfurt
bro,
is.
No, in California they don't teach you that shit, bro.
We did.
No,
I know. I did. I went to an all-boy Catholic high school, so believe it or not. Yep.
Yo, they didn't teach you the Earth was flat, like Kyrie, Kyrie thinks and all that shit.
Don't even get me started.
Oh,
I just want to know, like, if North Korea is over here and like the West Coast is over here, and the Earth is flat, like, how are they gonna like shoot? If they shoot, they're gonna go over the East Coast to the West Coast.
That's a question.
But if it's flat, they're gonna go off. It's gonna fall off whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to know.
I'd like to know as well.
Flat Earthers, please tell us.
Flat Earthers.
It's crazy. I actually have a friend that really, really believes that there's the flat Earth. Like,
legit.
There's no like. I look. I'm like, you really do believe this? Like, it's
so the satellite pictures really, don't do anything for them at all.
No, nope. It's all hoax.
It's all 3D animation. It's Avatar type shit.
Yep. Okay. I don't know. I can't. I don't know that world.
Yeah.
So,
going back to this game, I will say that the Twins have been pretty damn hot. Like at least Dozier's been pretty damn hot. Like, he hit 2 home runs the other day, another home run tonight, stolen base. Like, Kepler hit 2 home runs the other day. Rosario's been hitting home runs. And the only guy that's been sucking is Sano, but he just got back from injury, so he doesn't really suck. So it's one of those situations where, dude, we got to see this Dietrich kid. They're playing the Brewers, so we always got to check and see, right, against the Brewers. I forgot the game's in Milwaukee, so we don't have to worry about rain. They're just going to close the I thought the game was in Minnesota. I was wrong. But it's going to be tough for me to not pick on Davies again. Davies is 8-4 on DraftKings. I'm sorry, man. There's no way that I could do that. There's just no way I could do that. Here we go. We got your boys, Joe. Yu Darvish of Joe's Los Angeles Dodgers visiting Anthony Banda, the lefty from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Stack Diamondbacks tomorrow. Full Diamondback stack. I'm feeling Darvish gets blown up. I'm going to the well again tomorrow. I know it's going to happen. He can't be this good for us. Okay? Like, I'm just the eternal, I just know it's going to happen. Like, he's in the stadium. Like, I have a bad feeling tomorrow it's going to be bad. Like, they are going to crush him tomorrow. Peralta, Lamb, Goldie, Martinez, Pollock, lock it up on DK. Fit it in somewhere else. I'm telling you, do a good team like that. I would love that.
Man, I hate to admit this, but I'm with you, man. Like, I like Darvish. I know you like Darvish too. I know you're happy your Dodgers got him, and I like Darvish. But yeah, man, as much as I like the guy, this seems like an awfully good spot in tournaments. Like, I wouldn't say to necessarily pick on him in cash games, but in tournaments, this seems like a great tournament stack. Dude, like, it's like, think about it. Like, okay, he went to New York. Like, let's think about the process of him having that awesome game. Like, let's talk about this and why he had an awesome game, right? So, one, the Mets are coming off of Coors, right? They didn't have a day off. They went straight from Coors. Bam, they're playing. Or even if they did, it doesn't matter. They went from a hitter friendly, like the top hitter friendly environment to the worst, right? One of the worst, Citi Field. And so, Darvish comes rolling in. Duda is gone. It's a big lefty bat there. Darvish obviously struggles against lefties if he struggles against anybody. So now they get the Mets team that is already striking out a bunch. Now they don't have Duda. They're striking out even more. And then Darvish just kind of came in his first game and it was just a perfect setup. Before he got traded, though, in Texas, what happened? He was playing in some serious, hitting conditions, right? And that's what we saw. So I'm with you, man. I think that I could see these D-backs, man, really getting to Darvish. The line's 161. You Darvish against Banda, and it's only one. We see the Dodgers minus 200 for if that guy nobody knows is pitching. The Dodgers are minus 200. You know what I mean? Like, what's that one guy that you guys always throw? That cheap dude that's been getting rocked.
Brock Stewart.
Yeah, that guy. When that guy's pitching, they're minus 220. Darvish is pitching against the D-backs and they're 161. That's against Banda. It's not like he has a good matchup with him. Oh, Banda, to his credit, we'll talk about him next. But it's not like it's a name, right? He's 5'6" on DraftKings, so the algorithms don't like him either. So it's like, I'm with you, man. I mean, I'm with you. I like the D-backs offense.
Yeah, and on the other side, I like the Dodgers offense against this guy Banda. I think this is a good game to stack. You could fit in whatever Dodger hitters around that stack. I think that he can get lit up. You know, the Dodgers are going to be throwing their righty specialists against them. You know, it's like Kike, somebody good to have in there tomorrow. Chris Taylor, I like this game as an offensive total. I'm staying away from Darvish tomorrow. I'm not playing him at all, and I'm attacking him.
Yeah, man, I think I'm with you. I think in tournaments, I do want to pick on him. You know, Banda's one thing that's interesting, and you're not going to like me saying this, but it's a high total in the game. Initially, I like the Dodgers offense, but they have been hitting lefties better. But like this guy Banda actually had some decent K numbers in the minors, and like he's played. So he played 2 seasons in AAA. He maintained over an 8K per 9. Only this year, it looks like. This year in AAA, he had a 1.01 home run per 9. But other than that, he never really had anything over 1. And then, like, it looks like his ERA was kind of rough, but, like, the Ks were kind of there. You know, like, his walks are a little high at 3. So my point is the Dodgers have been striking out a ton lately. Like, the 25.5% over the last week. Granted, they have been playing some, like, they played Greinke today, so that's not even, Greinke's not even factored into that. But it's a lefty. He's 5'6" on DraftKings. If this total for any reason drops, man, like I don't know, like Banda's a guy I'm gonna have to look into. You know what I mean? Like I think it's the D-backs in general that attract me right now, and like that could be crazy. Don't get me wrong. You know, I gotta look.
We can both be crazy. It's late. You know,
it's late. But I'm gonna have to dig in on him tomorrow because I'm looking at his initially. I just pulled up his minor league numbers real quick, and what I'm seeing, it's not all that bad.
Dodgers won.
There it is.
Hootie hoo! Hootie hoo! Yeah, it took second. Woo!
There it is.
The sweat is real.
Do it for Patio. Do it for Joe. So let's talk about Joe. You get him, man. You get him. That is awesome.
But anyways, everybody out there, I was in a 23-man tournament, and I put up a 133 and wound up winning $125 from that entry. Okay? Like, it did not place in any other tournament.
Yeah.
Okay? But because it was 23 people, I wound up winning that. That's what I stress to you people. Yeah. Like, literally, there are money you can find. You don't have to score 290 points like some people do. Yeah. On a nightly basis, like you can still make money, okay? Like you just got to know the right tournaments to enter.
Yep, 100% contest selection. We preach it all the time. I made a whole video about it. So we preach, bro. I love it. And I tell you what, man, if you can do that little segment right there, if you could do that again every time you cash, I think the whole world is gonna end up rooting for you to cash, because that was awesome, man. The music cue, the dancing, like that was dope. That was a true celebration. I truly felt like I won $125, man.
Son of Mink, Inglewood's finest shoes. Yeah.
For those of you that are listening on the audio version, I advise you to check out the YouTube channel, because you're going to want to see Joe break this down. He is just breaking it down.
And this is just Joe. This ain't Audie.
That's not Audie. That's just Joe. That's the conservative right there.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'd love to see you score a touchdown in the NFL. I would love it.
You know what's crazy is that I hate like the touchdown dances in the NFL. I'm a referee. Remember that. I am a total Gemini. I am the biggest. I'm the 100% like definition of Gemini. Okay, I'm telling you. It's just.
Oh, that's too funny. All right, bro. Yeah. Wade Miley of the Baltimore Orioles visiting Chris Smith of the Oakland Athletics.
Okay, that's another. I have Blackburn on FanDuel.
Son of a.
So. Yeah, so I don't know.
Start off with Miley.
Miley, yeah, I think that you can attack them with these A's and like Chris Davis and Cash Game Porn and Semien. I like that stack. I think it might be kind of forgotten in so many ways. I think there's going to be there's a 10-game slate and there's 3 late night. I think that people are going to maybe forget about a little bit. And I think you can go at it. You can stack both these teams, whether if it's Smith, Blackburn, Redburn, Whiteburn, whatever burn. All right, yeah, I think that you can have, Machado, Chris Davis. I like all those. And unlike the other side, like I said, let's see where our boy is. He's 2,700 cash game porn. Like he's good. It's a good spot tomorrow, I think, and it's going to be overlooked. And Wade Miley, we all know he's garbage and can get blown up. So, but yeah, I like this game.
Yeah, me too. I like the bats on both sides, like you said. Blackburn, Smith, Burn, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a great spot.
Jackson State, whatever, Washington, whatever common name they have.
That's it. This is a great chance to get Baltimore a good offense going up against a mediocre to below pitcher, either way you look at it. And so this is a great opportunity. And people aren't going to take Baltimore. There's a big East Coast bias. A lot of people they don't want to wait. People are impatient. They don't want to wait for their guys to play. If I want to play a late slate, I'll play a late slate. I want my players to play now. So they stack all the 7:30, all the 7:30, 8 o'clock games. They all get the attention. And this is a chance to get Baltimore a very good offense, very low ownership against really nobody. And on the other side, man, Wade Miley's trash. Oakland's been playing a lot better. On DraftKings, Matt Chapman is 2.3. That is just like, if you in tournaments, like in cash games, I don't know if I could pay. Like if he's batting higher in the order, I'll consider it. But if he's batting 7th, I don't think I could do that in cash necessarily. But at third base, because it's like Joe. He's But
I love Ryan Healy though, 3,500. He is just destroying lefties the last 30 days. He is absolutely on fire against lefties, and so he had another home run the other day, and I just think that and he's only 3,500, so that's why I like him on DraftKings.
Yeah.
And on FanDuel, he can't be much more than 32 or something like that. So, like I said, I think this game is going to be a little bit overlooked.
Yeah, no, 100% it will. It definitely will. And Miley's terrible. We love picking on Miley. And more importantly, the A's in general, they've been mashing lefties lately. Davis, Semien, Lowry, like all these guys. I'm talking about Rajai Davis. Forget about Chris Davis, though he's been coming
Rajai
around.
Davis, yeah.
Rajai Davis has been destroying lefties, man. Not to mention, I think Miley's pretty bad with stolen bases. Even though he's a lefty, I'm pretty sure he's bad holding on runners, even though he's a lefty. So, yeah, man, I love the A's here especially. But Baltimore's going to go overlooked. A great offense. They're going to go overlooked. Tyler Skaggs, the lefty from the Los Angeles Angels, visiting James Paxton of the Seattle Mariners.
God, every time I think of Tyler Skaggs, I think of like a meth addict, like addicted to Skag, bro. Like,
a meth addict surfer.
Yeah,
bro.
Bro. They're like the guys in like the guys in Point Break. You know, the ones. You know, the meth addict. You probably never seen Point Break.
Nah, I've never seen Point Break, bro. Whoa, how'd you guess, man? Nah, man, never seen it.
Wow. Okay. Anyways.
But you knew, though. At least you knew. He was like, nah. Yes.
I knew it right away. I got to put myself in a good mood again.
I just bummed you out. My bad, bro.
Yeah.
All 6'3".
I'm in a better mood.
All 6'3" of you.
Oh boy. Anyways, yeah. Okay. All seriousness, let's attack. Skaggs is a lefty, so Nelson Cruz is in order tomorrow.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Paxton, I would love him tomorrow if he was just playing a team that strikes out more.
Yeah.
So he would be. Oh, I would like him almost just as much as DeGrom, but because he's facing a team that's not striking out as much, the Angels have been pretty hot. It's a divisional game. He's a GPP option for me only, and he's probably behind Salazar and DeGrom.
Yeah, man. I think I'm with you on first for initial look. One thing I will say is I think not very small. I'm talking over the last couple of days. The Angels have been striking out. We saw Bundy and Gausman both put up some seriously high K numbers against these guys. I don't know why. Do you remember Bundy the other day? I still can't explain how that happened, but incredible. And then Gausman this morning, well, for you it was this morning, I guess, but Gausman too, man. He did a pretty good job against these Angels, and forget about it, he had Ks. He actually had strikeouts. So that makes me think, again, I'm not going to trust 2 days of a sample size compared to the rest of the year where the Angels are one of the team that strikes out the least. So in cash games, I'm with you. Salazar, DeGrom both get the nod over Paxton. But in tournaments, he intrigues me because I don't know if people are going to go there. The only thing that worries me is those guys that had success against the Angels were right-handed. And Paxton is left-handed. And you got CK013, he's a lefty master. Mike Trout, Cameron Maybin. You got some guys that can hit lefties. So that's what worries me. But I will say, man, minus 205. Angels are projected for 3.1 runs. That's pretty damn low. So it's I think we have to consider Paxton. But I will say I agree with you 100% on the cash roll that there's no way that he makes it over Salazar, DeGrom in my cash lineups tomorrow. There's no way.
Yeah, to me, it's just he's a pivot from DeGrom.
Yes, he's a pivot from DeGrom.
That's it.
In GPPs.
He is in GPPs. He's you want to hope DeGrom gives up 4 or 5 runs and doesn't get you that, and Paxton throws it because he's a late night hammer. Everybody's going to be on DeGrom. Yeah. Nobody will have Paxton. It's probably an 8D special.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So who knows? But yeah, that's what I think Paxton is tomorrow. He's the classic GPP option. Yeah. And as for the other side, yeah, I think you can attack Skaggs. I will say this: he was having a great spring. He was somebody that I was following. It was somebody that I had on some of my seasonal teams. So he had a great spring, and he just got hurt. So he was out for 3 or 4 months from an oblique.
Right.
So it wasn't like his arm. So I'm not saying he has some talent. So I don't know about a major sack, but his first start back was not very good.
Yeah.
So don't be alarmed. I like Cruz as a one-off. Obviously, he'll probably be in everybody's one-offs. He'll be the chalk, but Gamble or Segura, I think would be fine too.
Yeah, it's interesting. Valencia should play because it's a lefty, and
Valencia, yeah.
Ever since they were getting Yonder Alonso or the or whatever, he started finally hitting home runs. So he's kind of interesting, but it's I like what you said about Skaggs. So it's as much as I like this spot, why would I come here aside from Nelson Cruz maybe in cash because he might be the guy you have to have. I like Zunino as a punt at 2.9 on DraftKings. He's interesting because he's double dunk potential. But aside from those two guys, it's am I really going to play any of those guys over an A's or Orioles stack at this point? No. You know what I mean? There's just so many other better games we talked about. So it's I'm with you, man. It's I like it, but it's we can't pick on them. It's a second game back, but do we want to? There's just so many other better spots.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Hey, man, that was fun, man. Want to do some Dong Watch?
Let's do it. Let's find some dongs with the peacock.
Let's do it. And
I just finished second with some wood.
All over it. West Coast Dongs, hashtag phone number. All right, brother. First base, third base, outfielder. It's more fun that way.
First base, let's
go with according to FanDuel, just to be clear.
Yeah, first base, let's go with E5 tomorrow.
I like that call. Let's see. I will go with... Man. Just took the best first baseman on the board and left me hanging, huh? No, I'm just kidding. I'll go with Goldie. Give me Goldie against Darvish.
Yeah. Third base?
Yeah.
Third base, Jake Lamb.
I'll go with Machado. We're going pretty quick. This is weird.
Outfield, David Peralta.
I'll go with my man Chris Davis.
We are just all over freaking. We are all over Darvish tomorrow.
We're all over Darvish and
have a hashtag Darvish team.
Yeah, have a hashtag Darvish team. Yes, don't come out here commenting on the podcast like fuck you guys. I stacked Arizona and
we're not saying go all in, but I'm going to have a team tomorrow.
Yes, have a
with
team.
The Diamondbacks.
If you're doing multiple lineups, have a team. Maybe don't make if you're doing one lineup. Maybe don't make it the Diamondbacks because it is a little risky. It's probably very risky, but
there's just some reason, and I don't know. Like I think Paulie, you will know if Paulie likes the Diamondbacks if he's on the live stream and you can see him, and if you can't see him, he'll have like this little smile, like yeah, and he'll start shaking his head just a little bit, yeah, and that you'll know that Paulie will like it. He gets this smile on his face, and it's just like you can tell he likes it, you know.
Anyway, guys, for those of you that aren't already signed up at wisetake.com, do us a favor, man. Don't you see how much fun we have, bro? Come on over and join the team, join the squad. Hashtag HooDieHoo. We have a lot of fun here, man. It's a premium daily fantasy sports community. You'll get better, I promise. You will leave a better player than when you came in. That we can promise you. It's a process. Trust the process. Come check us out, man. We got day passes, $2.50. That's it. We got the monthly passes, $29.99. And on top of that, we're giving a special promotion to our podcast listeners because we appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to the podcast that we put out for you guys. So if you put in the promo code podcast, you will save 20% off any plan. You want to try us for the day, save 20%. You want to try us for the week, we have a plan for that too, save 20%. You want to sign up monthly, make the commitment, save 20% every month. That's something that we're doing just for you guys because we appreciate you guys listening. There we go.
Finish it up.
Here we go.
Finish up with this plan.
Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that thumbs up. It means a lot to us. Subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, it really does. If you're listening on Podbean, give us a follow there. If you're listening on iTunes, the audio-only version, subscribe there as well. And give us some 5-star reviews. Bump us up those charts. It really, really means a lot to Patio Joe, Paulie D, and of course myself. So for Patio Joe and for myself, as always, good luck.
Yes.